Ferris State versus Michigan State today. Tough loss, coach, today, 4-3. Can I get your thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, that was a tough loss. Having the three nothing lead, but more importantly 3-1 lead going into the third, and even having a 3-2 lead late, and then having them tie it up with about three and change, and then losing it late. So it is tough. That's a tough one to swallow, and it's. We've been in this position so many times this year when we've had leads going into the third. I would have to look, but I don't know too many times where we've actually trailed going into the third. We always are either tied or in the lead and late in games, and it's really disappointing to see that we couldn't drive that one home. And, the probably the, I would say the marching orders, if you will, or what we were talking about going out into the third was that we wanted to build on that lead. And I didn't think we sat back necessarily. We had some penalties, so we ended up having to kill. But we didn't sit back. But nevertheless, we found a way not to win tonight. And we hate having to learn these lessons, but that's a lesson we'll need to learn.
And, Coach, you've talked about before having leads and not being able to finish the game. What's going to be the biggest challenge moving forward when you do have a lead to try to get the different result?
Well, you've got the scar tissue right now, and we had some positives. We were able to seal the deal with Minnesota State and Canisius, but it's like you've got that scar tissue, and there's got to be some confidence going into those situations that, hey, we're going to come out on top. Now, I would say the only way to get it though is you've got to grind through it. You got to win 2 or 3 games in a row where it's you've got the lead and you bring it home, and we're just not able to sustain that right now. And no, there's no question it's a confidence thing at this point, but. You can't. There's no such thing as fake confidence. The only way to do it is, and we'll have to work on those situations. And it was a tough one.
Coach, last week you talked about discipline in that loss to Minnesota State. Then tonight, 3-0 lead, then a Brendan Ron's penalty, unsportsmanlike call at the end of the second, and then the transit penalties in the third. How do you feel like that played a role into this game?
Yeah, the transit penalties that. I was very disappointed in that. To have to kill those 4 minutes. The Ron's one, I'm not so convinced. I actually thought they had the call on them, and I don't know what happened. So I don't want to comment on the Ron's one because I didn't see it. I didn't see it, so it's hard to comment on that one. I was surprised. I'll just put it that way, that we were shorthanded in that situation.
And then one more question, Coach. Do you feel like the offensive stall in the third period or the defensively giving up a couple goals there at the end was more to blame for the loss here tonight?
Well, probably both. I would say that. Part of the offensive stall to an extent was their goaltender. I mean, we did get 12 shots in the period on him. And he had a big third period and did what he needed to do to give their team a chance to win. And defensively, there was, I probably more than anything blame the penalties. So that you mentioned there, the 4 minutes in a row. That's a tough thing to try to kill. That's a long time to get a kill, and then you're once again overusing certain players. But I would say equal on both ends. But, even with the goalie pulled at the end with 20-some seconds, we managed to get 2 pretty good looks right there, and the kid made two pretty good saves. And it could have easily been tied right there. Even though it looked kind of bleak, we elected to pull the goalie without even seeing who won the draw. We didn't think we would have time to win that face-off, get the goalie to the bench, get the other attacker out there, and have him make a difference. So we figured the only way was to pull him right from the face-off. And we did, and we were able to get it down there. Like I said, we had a couple good looks.